Welcome back to the Team to Be Miami Heat podcast, your one-stop shop for daily Miami Heat content. My name is Amir. So for today's episode, I want to talk about a potential free agent that the Miami Heat can go after. And forgive me on this one, I know I'm reaching. There's slim pickings. The Miami Heat are over the luxury tax technically right now at this point. They're not a first apron team, but they're 1.3 or 1.8 million over the luxury tax. They don't want that repeater tax. And there's not a lot of options right now. So we do have a roster spot available. The season is kind of almost around the corner. It is August, so there are a few months, but the preseason schedule was just released. The regular season schedule was just released. And so I do want to talk about a name that could potentially be a good fit for the Miami Heat. This person, as the 15th man on the roster, ultimately is not going to have a big impact or big role. But for today's episode, I want to talk about Banton, Dalano Banton, excuse me. And I want to talk about if the Miami Heat should sign him. I want to talk about his potential and how he can fit in this Miami Heat system. And a lot of people are like, who the hell is Dalano Banton? And I only know him because he was on the Portland Trailblazers and watched some of those games, seen what kind of talent they had, which is not a lot, but Dalano Banton is a young, versatile, interesting player. He is designated as a point guard, also as a forward, which is a little confusing. He is someone who has shown flashes in limited NBA minutes. He's only been in the NBA for 4 seasons. He's 6'8", which is the intriguing part. He has good length. He has good size. He can play multiple positions. So he is kind of a wing player. He's kind of a guard as well. And that's something that the Miami Heat values in their role players is versatility and functional size. And again, his limited minutes make it very hard to fully evaluate his potential. But there are tools that are there. He's still young. He's developing, which makes him an interesting free agent candidate and target for a team like the Miami Heat that loves to develop talent. So 2 seasons ago, he played for the Celtics and was traded to Portland. So with the Celtics, he played 24 games, only played 7 minutes per game. They're obviously a championship contender, so he's not going to get much opportunity as a young guy on that squad. But he played 7 minutes. He only averaged 2.3 points per game, 1.5 rebounds, and zero point 0.8 assists. Not great, but limited opportunity. And he got traded to the Blazers, played 30 games with them 2 seasons ago. And his numbers did skyrocket. His time went from 7 minutes to 29 minutes per game, which was a huge leap for him. And he averaged 16.7 points, 4.8 rebounds, 3.6 assists per game with the Trailblazers, which are pretty good numbers for a young bench player. And last season with the Portland Trailblazers, he played 67 games, and his minutes went back down, which isn't the best sign, but they had some other younger, more talented lottery picks ahead of him, like Scoot Henderson, Shaden Sharp, and other players. And he only played 16 minutes, but his averages were not bad. 8.3 points, 2 rebounds, 2.4 assists in that limited action. So let's talk about why Banton could be a fit for the Miami Heat. So one, he doesn't have the best defensive reputation, but it is mixed. So some people say his on-court defense has been undistinguished, which is not great to hear, but he is someone who can be an average defender, which makes sense. So he has the length, he has the tools to contest shots, to get into passing lanes. He is athletic. He does have the long arms. He does recover well after screens, meaning he can stay in front of quicker players if he's focused. That's the key thing. He has potential to be a versatile defender. Again, he's 6'8". He plays technically as a guard, so he can guard theoretically point guard, shooting guard, small forwards, or even if we're guarding up, he could guard power forward. So if he can guard 1 through 4, that's super valuable. And he can switch on positions. He could protect the rim in spurts. Again, he's athletic. But the biggest question with him is consistency. He's still developing his defensive game. He needs to show that he can be reliable night in and night out at the end of the rotation even. And with Miami Heat's coaching staff, we know that you have to play defense. You have to be a two-way player. unless you're Tyler Hero, obviously, or a Duncan Robinson and a certain kind of specialist. But the Miami Heat are excellent at developing young talent, and he could be someone that the Miami Heat could develop. So, how could he fit in from a roster perspective? He could be a backup guard or even like a backup forward coming off the bench. As long as we have a healthy roster, he's not going to leapfrog Jaime, Pella, Davion, or anybody. So, but with injuries, which occur all the time for the Miami Heat and NBA players, we can use him as a versatile bench piece who can come in at, again, the 2 spot, the 3 spot, or even the 4 spot. Um, Offensively, he is inconsistent and a streaky scorer. Like he can get really hot, and that was his role with the Trailblazers last season. Was when the offense was stagnated, the starters would come out, he would come in. If he was hot, he would keep playing and would play very well. But the issue is inconsistent shooting. He shoots 2% from three, which is not good, which is not great. He shot 41 or 42% from the field, which is actually really bad for a guard. But again, he had spurts where he had games where he scored 30 points, where he would score 25 points, 24 points off the bench, even though he only averaged 8 points per game last season. So he is someone who has ball handling skills, who can get to the rim, who can kind of shoot threes, and basically is someone that you would hope that can ignite your offense off of the bench. And the Heat, they don't need him to honestly score. Like they just need him to bring the energy, bring the defense, bring the versatility off the bench, be another ball handler again, someone who's 6'8" who can handle the ball. If he improves defensively, if he can shoot better from three, like catch and shoot threes, then maybe he can have a role. Again, I'm talking about the 15th man on the roster, so give me some credit or slack. He's not going to come in and actually contribute. So it's just filling out that last roster spot with someone who has size, someone who's young, someone who could have potential, just someone who's not really going to make an impact. That's very low risk. Very low risk. There's probably no really real reward with this, but he does have potential for an upside, and it can bolster depth, and it provides the size, and it's intriguing. Anytime you have a guy who's a 6'8" point guard, then that is intriguing to have on your roster. So, what do you guys think? Do you think the Miami Heat should take a shot at Banton and sign him to a contract, to a minimum deal, or do you think you should focus on someone who is more established, maybe a veteran that can come and actually play in this rotation off the bench?